What if you could turn a simple personality test into a knowledge base that you could easily expand over time with new insights? I use this exact system to understand why I have a cycle of conflict with other people. And it has, even at age 50, been a life-changing tool that helps me understand these negative relationship-destroying patterns in my life. In this video, you'll learn how to build an AI system that transforms your 16 personalities Myers-Briggs personality test results into comprehensive research worth over $500. This system will know you better than your mother does and will save you 3 to 5 hours every time you want to understand a new aspect of your personality. I've used this system personally to resolve conflicts with others and even write daily Bible devotionals that fit my learning style and personality. I'll start by showing you the end result, which uses Claude AI. Then I will show you how to build the entire system from scratch. Without this system, you'll be stuck with surface-level personality results and miss the deeper self-awareness that actually drives better personal decisions. All right, let me show you exactly what you'll have by the end of this video. So I'm here in Claude. This is Claude on the web, and I'm in my ISTP-T personality guide. This is a project I've created in Claude with specific instructions specific to my personality type and how I want it to respond to me. I've also connected it to GitHub to my different personality type folders. These are full folders of different resources and articles that I have put together from deep research that are all about my personality type. And I'm going to show you how to determine what to research and how to research it later in this video. So I've got a couple of prompts here I'm going to drop in. This one is I'm currently doing a YouTube video talking about the repository I've built with my ISTP-T personality. Would you tell the fine people watching this why this approach is valuable? Please summarize in a few bullet points. Claude is searching the project that has my information in it, and it's going to bring back some information based on my query. Why this ISTP repository approach is valuable. First of all, it transforms personality type into an operating system. This is my operating system that I can ask about me. This is kind of my instruction guide, if you will, that can decode why I do certain things. It bridges the logic-emotion gap, so I have high logic and low emotional intelligence in my personality type. It manages the perfectionism paradox. My perfectionism score is 97%. It creates safety through structure. The turbulent trait, that -T of my personality type, brings self-doubt and anxiety. It also brings the ability to be really under stress. And it respects my energy architecture. So I am 85% introverted, and every interaction with other people has an energy cost. So it keeps that in mind as well. I'm going to make this available in a public repository that is linked underneath this video. You can take a look at these results and kind of read what my results are about. Remember, these results are based on my personality type. Your results will be different based on whatever personality type you have. So here's another prompt I'm going to drop in here a little bit more along the lines of what probably you might ask. Based on my personality research, how should I handle conflict with a detail-oriented colleague that is highly emotional? This is a very practical thing that you could use your repository and Claude for to analyze yourself and analyze how you could approach a potentially difficult conversation. It's going to look at these and give me some tips for handling this situation. So pre-engagement analysis. Think of the emotional responses as system alerts. They're signaling something in their process feels broken. So we're thinking about that other person and how they might handle this. The logical sandwich protocol. This is pretty good. The neutral fact. The middle is your position with data and a shared goal. Talk about the shared goal that you both want. Tactical communication adjustments, create processing buffers, the technical translation method, boundary management, emergency protocol, the escape hatch, and strategic refinement. So again, all of this will be in this public repo that's linked below the video. This is pretty good stuff, and it's things that you can actually put into action. This is written for me, and I, in the months that I've used this system, totally been blown away, and this has been life-changing for how I handle interactions with other people, how I understand myself. That perfectionism thing makes me look at other people and go, man, I'm not like them. Something must be wrong with me. And so I've actually made a lot of strides processing through that as well. So if you're one of those people that your personality type kind of vexes you and you don't understand why you do certain things, I would just stay with me, and let's build this together, and that can help you. And if you need help building this for yourself, or maybe you want to build this for your team, that's what we do at Weblytica now, is this AI repository. And we start with these personality profiles, and we start with individual repos that hold this knowledge so everyone in your team can access this kind of assistance with how they work with other people. So now one of the questions we need to answer is, how do we start with a personality type, and how do we flesh out all of the things we need to research so we can build this repository of information about our personality type or someone else's personality type? And I have a project here that I've built. What this does is it creates a scaffolding system based on the topic. And a scaffolding system, when we think about digital terms, and really this is a coding term, it is a list of directories and a list of files that are needed to finish the project. Again, this is a coding term. What we're going to use it for is a guide as to the different folders we need to create and the different names of the articles we need to research to create this repository and make it whole. And here is my personality data. This is 16personalities.com. That's 16personalities.com. You can go there. You can take a free test. I would encourage you to pay the $9 to get the extended information. When you take this, you will get this information. You'll get a name of what you are. The name of my personality is a virtuoso. And then the letters are what's important, is an ISTP-T. The I means I'm introverted, and the T means I have a turbulent versus assertive personality type. And you can see the breakdown right here. So I am on the introverted end here. I am observant. I am thinking, not feeling. I am prospecting, and I'm 53%, so I'm leaning towards turbulent personality type, which means I'm likely self-conscious, sensitive to stress, success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve. Check, 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 all of those. That is kind of the base information. So now if we go down here, you can see when you take this, you get these influential traits, and there's 3 sets of these with a total of 12 different traits. And so perfectionism, I'm at 97%. It causes a lot of stress in my life. 80% ambition, 67% motivation. My desire to lead is 94%. Resilience, confidence, grit, sense of control. And the last ones are authenticity, loyalty, altruism, and emotional intelligence, which is probably my lowest score, I believe. So what you want to do is you want to create a document, and I will put an example of this in the repository linked below. You want to list all this stuff, and this is just a text document. Type this stuff out. So Andy O'Neill, these hashes is a form of coding, if you will, for headings. So 1 hash and a space is an H1 heading, the highest heading. 2 hashes and a space is an H2. So I have virtuoso right here, ISTP. Here are the traits. Here are these 5 traits that I listed at the top. And then here are those 12 influential traits. And so I just have those listed. Type these out somehow. It doesn't have to be exactly in this format, but just make it structured so that Claude knows exactly what it's looking at. And you're going to want to copy this information, and we're going to go back over to that scaffolding project and drop that in and get the list of files and documents that we need based on that, what we need to have a full repository of information. We're here at the topic research scaffolding system. Now, this is not something that's only for personality types. This can be for any topic, and I created that because that perfection score, that I'm 97% on perfection, to me, there's never an end. We can never have enough information in a repository. I got to research and research and research. My friend Doug actually introduced me to this idea of scaffolding. And so I created this project, and I put a topic in here, and I let this project determine when I stop researching. Now, you can always add research later, but at some point you've got to say, this is the research we're going to start with, and we're going to add as needed. And so that way I'm not adding forever, for 2 or 3 weeks and not getting done. So this is going to be our list of research that we want for our personality type. So I'm going to just put a prompt in here, take the following personality information and create a scaffolding system for it. I'm using WhisperFlow, which is a super helpful thing, so you don't have to type as much. I'm going to paste that in there. So there's all my stuff, and we're going to have it go. I'm using Opus 4.1 for this. So this is going to look at this personality information and start breaking out. All right, so we have core ISTP psychology, and here are the different articles. It's actually going to give me titles. So here's an example, the Virtuoso's Learning Style. That is one of the articles we need to research for that first directory. Professional excellence, growth edges, productivity systems, communication strategies, personal development, relationship dynamics. We got seven directories here. I did this for a friend of mine. He has a different personality type, and it went through 10 directories. So this is structuring it a little bit differently. Now, here's the cool thing. This will output this CSV list. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to copy this. And I'm over here in a Google Sheets file that I'm going to just go right here and paste this. And we're going to say split text into columns. And so now we're ready to go. So I'm going to get rid of that heading. All right, so now we have our folders, and if I jump back up here at the top, I'm going to pull that right there. That way we can see our heading. So we'll go right down here. So you can see this is where my research stopped for the previous personality type. So I've already run this for this other personality type, but I will run this later, and I won't make you watch it because this will take several hours. But this is the folder that this will go into. This is the next folder. And what we're looking at is here's an example of a title that we need to research. The ISTP-T Cognitive Stack Explained. We're going to ask Perplexity Sonar, which is deep research, to research the article for that title. And we've got a prompt that we're going to go into some depth with that. But that's going to be what's going to be researched and on down this line. So we have a total of 72 documents that would be in my repository. I already have a repository. I didn't go through this process, so I might just go ahead and research these and add these as well. But this is the process of creating a repository from scratch. Okay, so we're over here in make.com, and this is the automation that grabs the data from that Google Sheet and researches it. Right here's Google Sheet. We're simply grabbing one row at a time from here. We're saying the status does not exist and the folder does exist. So we're just looking for one line at a time. The next thing we're doing is we have a router here, and I wanted this to shut off on its own. So because this research takes quite a while to run, so I ran it like all night one night, and I turned it on and let it run. But I wanted this to run every 10 minutes, but I didn't want it to run once the research was done. So I have a little fork here, and this says when a row number exists, we're gonna go up this top row here, and we're going to do the research. The next time it runs, or the last time it runs, when it runs, if it doesn't find a row number, it's actually going to go down here, and it's actually going to turn off this scenario. So this is a self-turning off scenario, if you will, that will turn off when it's done, when the research is done. So super handy to do that. This is using a Make API module that can actually turn on and off scenarios. So right here is the personality type. So when I ran this for my friend, he is an ISTJ-A, which is assertive, versus I'm a turbulent, a T. And then here's the Dropbox directory. So I built this because I wanted to reuse it over and over again because I really like the output and how this is working. So here is the search query. Okay, before I go on, this is going to be important. So we have the personality type and the Dropbox here. We're going to use that right here in this one. This one, research a topic for, and this is where those topics come from. So right here, it's expressing appreciation and affection. That is the topic. And the personality type is coming from here, ISTJ-A. So I had Claude help me write this, and this is our prompt we're going to use, and it just fills in the blanks every time it runs. And it's just using those two values, the personality type and the title of the article we're trying to write. This will be available in the repository as well as this make scenario. So here's where we put the text in from our search query, and I put that in the user, and I don't have anything else filled out, no max tokens or anything like that. I do have the search context size on low. When I had that on medium, it was timing out the scenario quite a bit. So that just keeps the context size a little smaller, and it it runs without having troubles. What Perplexity does is it's going to output the result right here, and the result comes with thinking tags. And so if you look, so you see this think tag, it has that at the beginning when it thinks, and it actually shows you the steps it thinks about, and at the end it has the less than / think greater than. I don't want the thinking steps in there, so I'm actually using a substring to get rid of those, and that's what this looks like. And if you're new to Make and you're like, I don't understand what you're saying, just type it in here like this if you're looking at, if you're using Perplexity Sonar. And so that substring says, find the index of the closing think tag right there and add 8. So that means it's going to ignore all the think stuff and start after the think and go to the end of the document. And then you can see right here I have citations, and then I'll show you where the citations come from. In our results, we have a citations array, and those are right here. And so there, you only see one here, but there's 17, I think, in this past run. The citations are in an array. So we have to break those apart using the iterator, and then we put that back together. So we use the bundle order position, the value of the citation, and we're doing a new line, and then we're doing a new line here. So I've got Notepad here, and this is what this looks like. So you can see we've got, this is the original research, all right, all the way down here. I'm going to jump to the bottom. And here are those citations. So you can see the citations have a 2 hash space, which is a H2, and then it has the citations listed, and that's what we have right here. So there's our citations, and then we have the number, the bundle order position, so 1 period space, and the link. So the citations are in there, and the citations are also included in the text. So like there's citation 1 and 4. If the owner of this data wants to go and look and see what the links were that were used to research this, they're at the bottom. Then we're dropping that into Dropbox. So here's that Dropbox directory that came from right here. So that personality type and directory. And there's the folder ID that came from our Google Sheet. Here is the file name. And if you remember, the file name is right here in this column. So basically it's the title. It's all lowercase and has hyphens and ends in the extension .md, which is Markdown. So that file name is right here. And then we drop the text that we combined from here. So this is our text, and our citations gets dropped right in there. And then we just go into Google Sheets and we say to mark this off in the status like these. So these are complete. So that's the process of the scenario. That blueprint will be in the public repository that I have linked under this video. So once this scenario is done running, you'll have a folder structure like you see here with files inside. So here is an example core personality framework, and we have, it's like 10 items in there. This personality type, when we researched it through Claude and through the scaffolding system, had 107 documents. So that's 107 documents all about my friend's personality type of all of these 10 aspects of life that are touched by personality. So this is a really deep exploration of his personality type. And you'll notice this project over in Claude, I do not have any web search. It is only looking at these documents based on the personality, in this case, my personality. So it's only looking at the documents that I've researched. It's done going out and looking at the web. So I've constrained it to just look at the data set that I've provided. So once your research is done, once you've gone through the scaffolding system, once you've used Make to research this, the next step is, when you have this on your local drive system, to push that to GitHub. There's a great video in this playlist that talks about how to do that. It's actually not my video. It's another video that a young lady did explaining GitHub in a lot of detail if you're new to that. But the next step would be to use GitHub Desktop, a program you can install on your local machine that will push these files to GitHub and keep them in sync. I hope you found this video to be valuable. Once you've built this out, you'll have an AI personality research system that will normally cost about $500 to build. That's what my price tag is to build it for other individuals or businesses. This isn't just another automation or another system. It's actually an investment in understanding yourself and how you relate to others. Your next step, once you get this built, is to run your first research topic. Start asking it questions about yourself, about conflicts you've had, about relationships you have, and learning styles, how you like to learn. So this is a great tool to just begin learning about yourself. It can be fun, but then when you have those critical times where you're like, I don't know why I did what I just did, I will get on my keyboard and I will just rant to it, or I'll use whisper flow and I'll just drop in a bunch of verbal information about it, about what happened, and see what it says. It's been super fun and super valuable. If you want my exact make templates and prompts and all the data from this that you've seen, it is in the public repository that I've linked below this video. And drop a comment with your personality type. I would love to see what insights you discover. Remember, this should not take place of human contact. I still have lots of human contact. It actually makes it better when I have human contact because I understand myself more now. This should enhance human understanding and not replace it. Go build your personality knowledge base. And I wish you luck. Leave me a comment, drop me a line, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.